The following is a live sports presentation on Glycon.
Glycon's coverage of UA Local 502 Louisville basketball game night starts now.
And a pleasant good evening, happy Sunday, and welcome to Louisville basketball game night. A real treat for you tonight. It's Assumption and Sacred Heart, two of the top three teams perhaps in Kentucky, will meet tonight at St. X. I'm Chris Labar alongside KHSA Hall of Famer Mark Evans. This rivalry speaks for itself, Coach.
Yeah, it's been a rivalry for most all their sports for a long time. But just recently it's became a basketball rivalry. Assumption has really stepped it up. They have a very athletic, great team with an excellent coach, and they actually have the opportunity to really push the Sacred Hearts and the George Roger Clarks and everybody else out there.
And the elephant in the room is the series. Sacred Heart, they've won 18 in a row. They were taken to the limit, though, in last year's 7th region tournament.
Yes, they were. A 1-point win right at the buzzer, pretty much. That was the way it went, to give them an opportunity to go on and win their 5th straight KHSA state championship. But, nothing's really changed for the Assumption team. They pretty much have everybody back. They're very, very good. They got a lot of experience. And for Sacred Heart, they have to, some younger players have to step up in bigger roles now for them after they lost, an All-American that's now at LSU.
Our players to watch, we will start with Assumption's Ashlyn James, and she is some kind of talent, Mark.
Yes, she is. She's one of the best athletes out there in any sport and throughout the state. Got great size, great body, great build, super quick, tremendously aggressive and skilled. I really look forward to seeing her tonight and what she can do tonight.
And for these Valkyries, Bree Wilkins having a fantastic season and one of the more versatile players in Kentucky.
Well, I think she's so smooth. I call her Silky. I mean, she is super smooth. Love watching the girl play. She's become more physical, though. In the past, she's definitely a 3-level scorer right now. She can go with her right to the rim, left to the rim, shoot the three, pull up, shoot the mid-range, plays quality defense. But what I've noticed about her is on the board, she's really become a force as an offensive rebounder, defensive rebounder. But she's just gotten stronger and plays stronger.
So glad you joined us tonight live on Glycon. It's Louisville basketball game night. We've got a little over 2.5 minutes in the junior varsity game. As you would expect, it's very tight. Sacred Heart leads 36-35 in the JV game. We expect the varsity game to tip around 6 or 6:10 p.m. I had a chance to chat with Donna Moir, the legendary head coach of Sacred Heart Academy. You'll hear her pregame thoughts after this. This Louisville basketball game night live from St. X on Glycon.
Folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer. Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Oldham County today.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Polo Real Estate Group, your one-stop real estate source. Founded by 1993 Male graduate Dion Reese. Contact him at 502-387-6330 or visit polorealestategroup.com.
Assumption and Sacred Heart battle it tonight on Louisville basketball game night. Coach Donna Moir, head coach of the 5-time defending champion Valkyries, joins us. Coach, what is your day like ahead of a big game like this?
We've had we got canceled on Friday night with Callaway County, so we've had a couple of days to just kind of relax and, get back to some basics on offense and defense. And then coming in today, we had a little shoot around this morning and just to kind of get the kids out of bed so they're not sleeping all morning and then headed over here to watch the JV game. So it's been kind of relaxed.
What makes this rivalry so different?
We've just been rivals forever, in every sport, everything we do. So we always try to play this game, the Sunday before Martin Luther King Day. It doesn't matter. One of us could be 0-30 and the other one could be 30-0. It's going to be a game no matter what.
Your team 11-3 after beating Spencer County on Wednesday. You started that game 18-0, but I know there were probably a few things you didn't like about the course of that game. What were they?
We kind of had a little scoring lull, I think, especially in the second half where, we were getting good looks, shots weren't going down. But, we went back and looked at the tape, and defensively we were solid. And that's what we need to do is just keep up our defensive effort. And we know, we can score, but we did have some lapses that hopefully we can correct those today.
Bree Wilkins, coach, her versatility just really jumps off the page and all the things that she can do. How has she improved in her couple of years with you?
Bree kind of likes to go at her own pace, so we've tried to get her to, we're gonna coach these kids up. We're gonna coach them at a high level. We're gonna get them ready to play at the next level. And we're asking a lot of Bree. I think sometimes she even has voiced that she thinks we pick on her, but she'll tend to stand up instead of being down and engaged. And so we've really tried to, get at her and try to get more out of her.
Let's talk about the Rockets, your opposition tonight. They're 10-4, undefeated in Kentucky. What do you like about them?
Obviously, they've got one of the best players with Ashling James. She's a Indiana commit, kind of does it all for them. And, then they've got some role players to go around them. But, they handle the ball well. They're long, they're athletic, and, they mix it up. They're well coached.
You guys beat them by 1, obviously, in the 7th region last year. How much has that been discussed this week?
A little bit. It's a new team, new year. So we haven't really talked too much about that game last year. Obviously, we're a different team. They're a different team, and they're doing different things. We're doing different things. So it's going to be, kind of one of those matchups that, I've been getting texts all day. Hey, Coach, we're going to be watching the game. I send them the link, to the game. And, I think it's a game throughout the state that people will have their eyes on.
It is a big one, but yet you could play them here in 6-7 weeks. Do you hold anything back at all?
No, we go after it like we're going to win each game. I think it's important that that you attack each game because I think it creates a mindset with the kids. Like if you sit there and say, oh, we're not going to throw everything at tonight. Like we don't care. We're going to wait for the regionals. Like I don't think that's a way to prep, We want to get better every day and, and we want to practice well and, we're ready. We can't get any more ready. Everybody's like, how you doing? I'm like, we've done all we can. It's now for the kids to go out and play and have fun.
Good luck. Enjoy the moment.
Thanks. I'm really excited. We're going to have a big crowd here, probably the biggest crowd they played against or, played in front of in a long time. So I think it's going to be a great game for high school basketball, for the city of Louisville basketball. So, if you haven't gotten your ticket, come on out.
Thoughts from head coach Donna Moir of Sacred Heart. More coverage right after this on Glycod.
Buying or selling a new home, and you want to do it with few hassles? Count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering. Serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham. Always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A proud community supporter, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com, celebrating 20 years of serving our community of athletes. Priority Radiology. You have a choice.
Blind Direct, not just blind. Blind Direct, not just blind.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Tonight's broadcast is authorized by Sacred Heart Academy and St. X High School with production rights owned by Glycod. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation of all participating student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching. 21 seconds left in the JV game. Assumption by 4, 40-36. Mark, let's talk a bit more about the varsity Valkyries. Bree Wilkins, Tootie Jordan, quite the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, definitely so, Chris. As I saw them at their last time they lost to a Kentucky team. That was Cooper, probably about, several weeks ago. And, it was obvious that the younger kids that were stepping in for those big roles that, the players that they had graduate were learning. I know Donna really, really likes her. Donna really likes her post player. That's really a two-time state champion on the soccer field, and she seems to be getting better and better and better. She's a very good athlete, very long, very lanky, really does a nice job, and that's Emma Zutterman, that's her name. And so, she's getting better and better. You could tell that she's, early in the year she just needed to slow down a little bit on her post moves and this and that, but she's definitely improved, makes them have a pretty good presence in the middle. But, like I said, definitely a 1-2 punch with Tootie. Tootie's so tough because if you're not careful, she'll take your point guard out of it and force your offense to run from too far out. So that's the big thing about Tootie.
Assumption JV hangs on 41-39. And back to Zetterman for a moment, 7 points and a team leading 6 rebounds, and they really need that production in the paint.
Well, they really do. And I think in the Cooper game, she missed a couple point-blank shots, but you could tell that it was just a matter of time for her to keep improving. They're very well coached, and they're coaching roles, and they have people over there that can work with her and get her footwork even better. So I look for her to be even better tonight, and she'll need to be because every rebound's going to matter. I really think it's going to come down to second shots.
We'll talk more about that in our Inside Look feature a little bit later on. Some of the salient Sacred Heart numbers, a team, they certainly can score the ball. What do you make of only giving up 42 points a game?
Well, I think there's a couple things going on there. Part of it is Sacred Heart and Assumption, and there's a couple other teams that are tremendously dominant out there this year. Sacred Heart plays an excellent man-to-man defense. They really get up and get after you, mainly in the half court, and they take a lot of teams out of their comfort zone. They shoot the lanes well. They get a lot of steals and make a lot of layups, but they're hard to score on. So, I would say partly that, and partly, to be quite honest, if you look throughout the state, there's probably 5 to 10 really, really excellent teams. Sacred Heart been way up on the top, Assumption there too. And then there's a lot of teams that just are not that good, to be quite honest. And it's when they play any of those teams, they try to play the best schedule possible, but that's not every single night. And when they play those teams, those kind of things happen.
And for the Valkyries, also a 77% foul shooting team as well.
That could come into play big time tonight, without a doubt. That free throws are always important in big games and championship games. Free throws, fouls, turnovers, those are the big ones. And the advantage goes to Sacred Heart if they're able to get to the line. But of course, you and I both know it's who gets to the line and how well they knock down free throws. Tootie tends to get to the line a lot, and it's usually very, very productive.
Karen Kovatch, the head coach of Assumption in her third season, and she caught up with Mark Evans. We'll have that conversation on the other side of this pause. It's Louisville Basketball Game Night live from St. X on Glycod.
Not just flies. Blind Direct, not just flies.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational, solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
When you want the right agents for your real estate needs, choose the Van Treese team with True Blood Real Estate. Former University of Louisville basketball star Stephen Van Treese and his wife Laura Protenick Van Treese combine local knowledge, dedication, and results to help you buy or sell with confidence. Contact the Van Trees team at 502-468-1463 because no other real estate team quite measures up when you experience the True Blood advantage.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential. And the Van Trees team with True Blood Real Estate. Experience the True Blood advantage.
This is Mark Evans here with Rocket head coach Karen Kovatch. Karen is a coach of the number one team of the state, Assumption Rockets, and with 11-3 record, and getting ready to go against her rival today, and should be a fantastic matchup. Start off with, Coach, what are your non-negotiables today? I mean, what are you going to have to, what's your team going to have to do in order to come out victorious?
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for talking to me before the game. So, nothing different than going into any game. Our non-negotiables are always focus, discipline. We have a fast team, and sometimes it's hard to slow them down to execute. They want to go, which is fun to watch. The great athletes. But championships are played in the half court, and we have to learn to slow down and really run and execute regardless of what defense we see. So that'll be key for tonight. Yeah, I went through that too in some of my times in teams where we were known for our running up and down and our changing defenses, but the thing that mattered the most was the inbound plays and the half court called plays. Yep. So I totally get what you're saying. This is a big game. This is a great environment. We're over at St. X and packed house already for a JV game, and with this kind of environment and all. But this is really one of most likely three, and with the third being what we both I would think would agree is the most important one that would get you this Sweet 16 and give you the opportunity to win a state championship. What's your philosophy, knowing that, or I'm sure you thought that through? Do you have a philosophy about how you want to handle today? Yeah, there's a coach's philosophy and a player's philosophy, right? So the player's philosophy is win at all costs, win every game. And what I'm trying to teach is that I thought through our schedule this year to prepare for postseason. So if you look at our schedule, we have had one of the hardest, playing nationally ranked teams. We played the 4th national team in the country. We played against the top players in the country. I want to battle test them for postseason. And so every game is a learning experience for these girls. They're not going to look at this game as, okay, this might not be the most important. Every game for them is the most important, but for me, it's learning and it's preparation for postseason. Great answer. I saw your schedule. I looked through it and saw some of the teams that you played, and I think that's the only way to do it. You take some losses, but a lot of those losses, you learn that you have to have a better set offense. You learn that you got to set better screens. You learn that you have to learn to use screens. Those are the ones that teach you all those things. Coach, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure, and I appreciate you talking to me. And that was Coach Kovatch of the Assumption Rockets, and now back to Glycod.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, And that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Welcome back to Glycod.com. It's Assumption and Sacred Heart live from St. X, 11 minutes or so before we begin this game. Assumption 11-4, Sacred Heart 11-3. Mark, let's talk a bit more about the Key Rockets. We talked about Ashlyn James and everything she does, and then you've got Saray Palmer, a sophomore, having a fantastic year at over 13 a game.
Yeah, I saw Saray last year play and knew she was going to be really, really a strong player for him, and she hasn't disappointed at all. What really is impressive, she shoots 43% from the three-point line, and I really believe that last year, that was one of the things that Assumption struggled with was the outside, the three ball, and they're much better this year than they were last year. They are shooting 32% from the three-point line, and that's not too bad. They usually say take the three if you can shoot 33%, but once again, Saray is leading that group 43%, and that's a big help for this team.
Got Ava Moore, one of 4 seniors who we expect to start tonight, 9 points and 5 rebounds. She's an 83% free throw shooter, and again, the Assumption Rockets shoot it at 67% as a team, but you look down at the bottom there. They've been to 7 Sweet 16s, just a historic program, and you know them well, but it's been a while since they've won the 7th region.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time. It's probably been back, I think, when Bob Todd and Martha Todd coached the team. And I was at Mercy, I think, for the second time, just getting back, I do believe. So it's been quite a while. This is a year that they definitely can make that happen. Anytime you have a post player that's shooting near 80% from the free throw line, that's a positive thing if you can get her touches in the paint and she goes up strong for you.
It's been 2007 since Assumption last claimed a 7th region championship. What did you make of Coach Kovatch's thesis that they have to be better in the half court? That's where championships are won.
I agree with her 100%. I don't think there's any doubt about it. As we were progressing in my times at Mercy, I was fortunate enough to have a very good coach that coached with me and then later became the head coach in Keith Bosch. And he was extremely, extremely good in the half-court sets and drawing something up. And just offensively, you name it, he could do it. Inbound plays, anything on the offensive end, had a great command of that. And I really give him a lot of credit for getting us finally over the hump and winning that one in 2010.
Rockets, Valkyries. Up next, we'll hear from Coach Evans as he'll dissect both teams' chances with our Inside Look series presented by Blinds Direct. That is on the way. Tip-off in 8 minutes live from St. X. It's Glycod.
Red Ball Recycling is Southern Indiana's #1 recycling choice for a reason.
We offer top dollar for all scrap metal. We can buy steel, copper, aluminum, brass, junk cars, and more. Call or stop by Red Ball Recycling and turn your scrap metal into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
This is the mower that cut the lawn, that became the place their kids grew up. The legendary Exmark Laser Z is the zero-turn mower more landscape pros trust. For cut quality, comfort, and reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life. Visit your local dealer or explore the Exmark Laser Z online for special finance offers, available now.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A proud community supporter, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com, celebrating 20 years of serving our community of athletes. Priority Radiology. You have a choice.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Tonight's Inside Look is presented by Blinds Direct, proudly serving Louisville for over 30 years. It's blindsdirect.com for the best in home decor. Mark, first up, the visitors, Assumption.
Yeah, Chris, I'm a firm believer that you take things away from teams right from the get-go. You scout well and you do your job. And with the circumstances of losing so much scoring from last year's team, I would definitely limit number 21, Bree Wilkins' touches tonight. I would make it tough on her from the get-go. The second thing I think that's going to be extremely important for this Assumption team, they love to run. They really like to push the ball, but they're going to have to also take care of the ball, especially in the half court. So limiting turnovers is going to be important for them.
How do they limit 21's touches?
Basically shade chase and whatever it takes. I mean, you can play a good man-to-man like Sacred Heart tends to like to do. Assumption tends to like to play the same great man-to-man. You can still play man-to-man and chase one, and you'll get hurt every once in a while on a weak side rebound, but I still don't like good players going off on me.
And for the Rockets, again, can they finally get off the schneid and lost 18 in a row in this series?
It's real mental, I see it everywhere I go. I saw it. I was amazed that Cooper was able to pull it out this year against Sacred Heart. I watched GRC just melt down in the final minutes of the state tournament this past year in the finals just because they were playing Sacred Heart. There was no real rhyme or reason why they did what they did. It was very uncharacteristic. But that does that to you when one team believes they're going to win and the other team hopes they're going to win.
And for the Valkyries, you've already hinted about this, but offensive rebounding, very important.
Yeah. For the Valkyries, in my opinion, that's kind of their bugaboo right now. They really on the defensive end in particular, they really need to box out. They really need to limit second shots because Cooper hurt them very badly by doing that. The other thing that Sacred Heart's going to have to do, and Donna's really worked on it and really feels like it's a weakness still at this point, is staying in front of the other team, limit them straight line drives to the basket. And if you're not careful, Assumption will take it to the rim on you.
Finding a way, that's really the formula for the Valkyries, and you talked about this just a little bit. So much of their success against the opposition is mental to a fact, is it not?
Oh yeah. Until you get over that hurdle, when I first came back to Mercy, I thought I was going to snap my fingers and Mercy's going to be back in regions of state tournaments. It's not so. Once you're used to certain teams beating you over and over and over and over again, if you're that team, it's really tough those last couple minutes if you have a lead or if you're close to finish the deal. You have to have kids that really believe. If you are the team that dominates most of the time and you have a coaching staff like Coach Moir's that really don't let them get too complacent, you're awful hard to beat when you walk on the court and just expect to win the basketball game because you seem to do all the things right when it counts the most and you make your own breaks.
What's the difference between these two teams if they both bring their best game? What's the determining factor?
I think that's a great question, Chris. I think we'll see. I think it's the overall athleticism of this Assumption team and ability to crash boards and things like that. I think, if you look at it on paper, I would almost have to give them a bit of an edge. I think the greatest thing for Sacred Heart is right now you have Tootie, which has really improved on the offensive end of the court, which is a point guard that runs the show. Also a defensive nightmare, likes to take the ball away from you at half court. And, of course, you have Bree. But, you have a couple sophomores that are doing a good job that are legacy stepping in there. And then you have a great soccer player that's a pretty good basketball player stepping in there. So I think the greatest thing is how those kids will fill these roles and how well they'll do that, because really Sacred Heart, the most changed team from the Assumption team with everybody pretty much back that they were relying on last year.
Valkyries, again, they've won 18 in succession. They were taken to the limit in last year's 7th region semifinal. This could be the first of 3 meetings this season. The LIT coming up at the end of January, and then, of course, the 7th region tournament the first week of March. We are thrilled that you've joined us tonight for Assumption and Sacred Heart. It's an outstanding atmosphere, 2 perennial powers, 2 great programs, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Starting lineups, live basketball coming up. It's St. X. It's Assumption and Sacred Heart live on Glycod.
You cannot depend on Beth to choose the best meal to go.
Is that soup? No, thank you.
But you can always depend on her car starting because she has an Interstate battery, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. From Glycod, it's UA Local 502 Louisville Basketball Game Night. UA Local 502 and the Mechanical Contractors Association of Kentucky. We do it right the first time. Tonight's game is brought to you by Red Ball Recycling, turning your scrap metal into scrap money. HKC Roofing, better than guaranteed. Tinsley Family Concessions, commitment to quality. German American Bank, building our community since 1910. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. And by Blinds Direct and State Farm Insurance agent Leslie Gilley. Now courtside for all the action from Glycod on UA Local 502 Louisville Basketball Game Night.
Be right back after this for tip-off between Assumption and Sacred Heart.
Buying or selling a new home, and you want to do it with few hassles? Count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A proud community supporter, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com, celebrating 20 years of serving our community of athletes. Priority Radiology. You have a choice.
Blind Select, not just blind. Blind Select, not just blind.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Interstate Batteries. Get started with Interstate Batteries, the expected starters for Assumption: James, Palmer, Moore, Allen, and Powell, 4 of whom are seniors. Ashlyn James leading Assumption at 14 points per night. Valkyries will counter the same quintet as they've started throughout the majority of this season. Tootie Jordan, Bree Wilkins, quite the 1-2 punch. Bree at 16, Tootie Jordan averages 15. Then you've got a pair of sophomores with Tari Ralston and Riley Gilvin, and then Emma Zutterman, 7 points and 6 rebounds in the lane. Great atmosphere tonight at St. X for 2 tremendously strong powers.
Yeah, Chris, this is the best crowd I've seen in quite some time for a girls' basketball game. Won't take too many more walking in the St. X gym and make it a standing room only. Great to see.
Sacred Heart sold 1,200 tickets in advance. That was as of this morning. And capacity here just under 2,000, so one would expect we're very close to that. You do have a few empty seats in both quadrants, top quadrants of each.
Well, I'm impressed with the student sections. You know, anymore you never know what you're going to get on any given day as far as numbers of students, but both of them have packed it in here tonight and should be a lot of fun.
And for a Sunday as well, this is a standalone game, only going head-to-head with one of the divisional playoffs. Should have a lot of eyeballs on 2 great teams.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. Been looking forward to it since I saw it on my schedule.
So St. X being introduced. Rather, Sacred Heart. Knew I was going to do that. Sacred Heart being introduced on St. X's floor. There's Tootie Jordan. And a lot of responsibility on Tootie's shoulders to score the ball without Zakiah this year.
Well, I just think she's really improved in all facets. She's definitely 3-level again. She's really worked on her three-pointer, and you can tell she's got to be pretty set, but she can definitely knock it down. You know, and if there's a gap and an opportunity, she can get it to the rim also. But she's so valuable with her defense. And I remember when she first walked in the door for Donna, all she thought about was offense. Now she's definitely a defensive stopper, and she's a game changer. You know, that's going to be one of the things I watched tonight right off the bat is who she's going to be guarding and how she affects that player. And they switch, too. They play switching man, so it's not always who you're going to be guarding.
Slade Robinson, Gerald Gray, Craig Sanders. The 3 officials assigned for tonight. There you see head coach Karen Kovatch. There's Assumption and Sacred Heart. Valkyries, again, they've won 18 in succession.
Well, you have an excellent officiating crew. Their assigner, Rick Brown, definitely sent 3 of the best. But 2 of them I know really well, and this younger one I've seen a couple different times, and I think he's very good too. So we have good officials tonight.
Rockets, Valkyries.
Expect man-to-man played by both teams. Every once in a while you'll see a little bit of a change, but I doubt you'll see much of one.
And Assumption with possession to start.
As we expected, a little high screen action, a little 2-man game.
There's a 3 up top, and it's off the mark from Ashlyn James. Rebound cradled by Bree Wilkins. And Wilkins sprints into forecourt, heaves a 3. May have been blocked on the closeout by Saray Palmer. And Assumption in transition where they're so good.
Yeah, fantastic job. I think Tootie got in a little bit of a hurry there, took a questionable shot. And thing about those is they go the other way really quick, and that's exactly what happened. Sacred Heart didn't have anybody on the top to balance it out.
Strong drive by Wilkins, trying to counter cannot as Saray Palmer cradles the rebound, and Assumption by too early. Palmer all the way to the bucket, and a foul on Sacred Heart's Tari Ralston.
Well, from the get-go, Chris, it's going to be obvious that Sacred Heart's going to do a better job, has to do a better job of slowing the ball down in the full court. Closest person push the ball out, slow them down, so the rest of them can get back to the scoring spots.
Palmer 63% from the foul line, aims that one in, and the Rockets leading 3-0. And the second one off the mark, rebound Ralston, number 4 of Sacred Heart, as they try to get on the board. And Ralston just fumbled it coming up the near sideline.
Yeah, an excellent job by Assumption just picking up the ball. Sometimes we call that ball hanging, sometimes it hurts you, but the bottom line was Ralston didn't get her head up and get the ball out, and it cost them a turnover.
As Jada Allen rifles it in the corner, that's Ava Moore working on Zutterman. Skip past Palmer, heaves a 3. And the rebound up and in, and Assumption out of the blocks early. It's Layla Powell.
Yeah, that's what we talked about in the beginning, Chris. Going to be tremendously important for Sacred Heart to stop the second shot getting, and that's the only way they're going to do that is put a body on somebody, and that's going to be determined here real soon.
And Assumption 6-0. 60 seconds plus have elapsed.
Full court man pressure, looking to run and jump. Now just straight matched.
Tootie Jordan squirms her way in the lane. It's Riley Gilvin as the Valkyries have subbed in Kalia Jones in place of Ralston that did not box out on that missed 3. There's Riley Gilvin at the elbow, and a palm and too early miscues as Sacred Heart just appears a little hurried here in the start.
Well, I believe they're hurried, but I think they're hurried for the reason. I think this Assumption team's really getting after them. And once again, we talked about the 2 sophomores in there. This is the biggest game that they've ever played in so far as a starter goes. So they're going to have to really step it up a little bit.
There's a 3 in the corner from Ashlyn James. It's long, but another backside rebound. Secured by Ava Moore. And a held ball. It's going to propel to Sacred Heart as number 1, Kalia Jones, tied up possession.
So that'll be Assumption's first turnover here. We got 2 turnovers on the Valkyrie end and 1 on the...
There's Riley Gilvin inside the line. Oh my, missed everything. And Assumption down the hill with numbers again. 8-0. And a Sacred Heart time out. Assumption leading 8-zip. More coverage coming up live on Glycon.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help. but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Valkyries trail at 8-0. And they're going to inbound here length of the floor after being caused to force an early timeout.
Yeah, a little 1-2-2 action. You see a lot of this. It's a good three-quarter court press. Just to speed the Valkyries up is what Assumption's trying to do there.
Tootie Jordan underneath. Nice grab and an Assumption foul. That was a great find underneath. And the Valkyries, number 1, Kalia Jones, will head to the foul line.
Yeah, much needed. It looked like Assumption extended the pressure out. I can't really tell, though, Chris. Might have looked like they went from a 1-2-2 three-quarter court trap to a 2-3 zone, but I didn't have enough time to see anybody cut through on that one.
Kalia Jones, 5'8" junior, being asked to provide some spark off the bench. Averages 3 points a night. And Sacred Heart now on the board.
Assumption back in their man-to-man.
It's Riley Gilvin on top, shadowing Jada Allen. Now she'll switch. Spinning is Ashlyn James. Pretty shot for 2.
Beautiful turnaround, great body balance. It's a great play.
And Zetterman denied at the other end as Gilvin collecting the loose ball and an Assumption foul.
Assumption's in the man-to-man against the inbounds play here. I'm sure they'll switch everything. We'll see what Sacred Heart can come up with. I'd like to see him get the ball in Bree's hands a little bit. Wilkins needs to see the ball.
There's Tootie Jordan. Here's Wilkins up top.
Got Zetterman trying to post here. Posting high, now going to set a high screen.
Jordan hesitating now, weaving inside the line. Heavy contest, and it rattles in anyway.
Yeah, that was a great play by Tootie. Right now, Sacred Hearts have such a hard time getting in any kind of an offense. It's really become a one-on-one game, and that was a great one-on-one move.
Valkyrie's first field goal and a wonderful find from Palmer to Layla Powell, and Assumption back on top by 9.
Yeah. Right now, Assumption offensively looks like a machine. I'm not so sure Sacred Heart defensively yet has an answer for him.
Bree Wilkins hesitating. Draped by the defender, missed that shot, and a rebound. It's one and done. As Assumption, a basket here, gives him a double-figure lead. As Ashlyn James nudges it in the corner.
Powell posting up strong each and every time.
Ava Moore inside the line. Off the mark, Tootie corrals the loose ball for the Valkyries. Tootie inside the line. And a held ball. It's Assumption possession.
Sacred Heart's picking up a little bit of man high. Not so sure about that right now, as well as Assumption's running the court, but we'll see.
There's Ava Moore, far sideline, and Assumption
2-1-2 offensive attack.
Able to break the press, and an advantageous shot is missed, and it's poked out off of Riley Gilvin. It will stay underneath Assumption.
Yeah, Chris, I think that's the last thing that Sacred Heart wants to do right now is open up the court for this Assumption team.
Ashlyn James, 4 points out of the gates for Assumption, and she'll nudge it in. Ava Moore, good overplay by Wilkins, and it's flipped right back in play. James fouled by number 21, Bree Wilkins. You had the ball flipped back underneath the opponent's basket by Becca Carson.
Yeah, that's a tough play. usually comes out bad anytime you save it. The idea is throw it all the way down to the other end of the court if you have the possibility, not right back under the basket.
And that one is off the mark. Valkyries now 3 team fouls in the first 4+ minutes of this game. Ashlyn James for one more. And that one in. So Assumption now with their longest lead at 10.
Mm-hmm. Picking up man-to-man. A lot of pressure. A pretty good matchup here with Tootie.
Jordan inside the lane. Up and in. And Tootie now with both of the Valkyrie field goals.
Yeah, she's earning everything she's getting, Chris. No doubt about it. They're just not getting a lot of... She's not getting a lot of help. There's not a lot of screening. There's not a lot of setting screen.
Deflected out as Kylie Moore dumped it down low, and it was deflected out off of 23 Layla Powell, so it will belong to Sacred Heart.
Full court man pressure by the Rockets.
Run out
Running
to
long.
Tootie Jordan with the grab, and Tootie stripped. And Assumption back the other way. It's Palmer racing into front court. James a 3. And a strong rebound up and in for Moore.
Yeah, once again, owning the offensive boards. These Rockets are athletic. Coach talked about how quick they move up and down the court and how athletic and long they are. That's Coach Kovatch. I agree with her. They're fun to watch.
Bree Wilkins' long 3 is off the mark, and Riley Gilman getting a hand on that loose ball, and Assumption out with it. Numbers weaving her way to the basket. That's James off, and Gutterman staves off a slew of Rockets for the rebound. Here's Tootie, a deep one. And Assumption another loose ball. Rebound, it's Layla Powell. Ava Moore hoist to 3. Up and in. It's going to crawl in for Kylie Moore.
Yeah, Chris, those second shots, as we spoke of earlier, just killing the Valkyries.
Assumption leading by a dozen. There's the entry to Zutterman. Just too quick as Zutterman tried to cradle it around in a double dribble. For Kylie Moore, possession back to Sacred Heart. And we're going to have a full timeout. The Valkyries pause play again. A quick start for Assumption. They lead on Glycod 17-5, and we'll have more coverage in just a moment.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Assumption wearing warm-ups that state together, and they put forth a nice performance here in the early going, leading 17-5.
17-5, yeah, very impressive. I love their speed. I like the way they get their heads up and advance the ball down the court. That's just like I said, it's really putting the Valkyries in a bind because it takes all they can do to get to the offensive boards, and when they're getting to the boards, Assumption's going the other direction and putting in layups.
As Riley Gilvan will inbound underneath. Tootie Jordan with 4 of the Valkyries' 5. Kalia Jones tacked on a free throw. And Ashlyn James unofficially with 7, leading Assumption. There's Tootie going to inbound underneath. There's an outlet to Becca Carson, back to Tootie. Deflected. Kylie Moore with a hand on that cross, and it's going to be Assumption ball.
Just flatline pass, just so dangerous. Lucky they didn't make the play and make a layup at the other end on that one. Just careless. Once again, I think you have to credit the defense of the Rockets, though. A lot of pressure.
Ashlyn James skips it over to Palmer. Baseline jumper short, but another offensive rebound. And a three. And another second attempt. Saray Palmer finally missed that one. And the Valkyries commit a foul. It's on Becca Carson.
What was that shot? Four shots, Chris? I think 4 or 5 shots on that one possession. You know, it just can't happen. I mean, it's the Valkyries may think about changing up some defense or at least mixing it up a little bit. Anything to keep them out off the rebounding.
And Assumption now misfiring on a couple of recent free throws. Rockets number 1 in the Elite 16 media poll this past week. GRC 2, Sacred Heart 3, and the Rockets not doing themselves any favors at the foul line. As Tootie Jordan now out with it for Sacred Heart as Jordan shifts her way inside the lane and a blocking foul.
Yeah, Jordan's made up her mind. She's pretty much going to go one-on-one and attack. That's about the only way they're getting anything, the Valkyries are getting anything going. The only problem with that is the other 4 teammates stand around and watch when that happens, and then they're not active on the boards.
Tootie, an 85% free throw shooter. One of 3 Valkyrie regulars that shoot him above 80.
That's a great advantage, but you got to be able to get to the line, and Tootie can, but so far we haven't heard much from Bree, and that's going to be important in this game.
Wilkins scoreless as Tootie now 6 of Sacred Heart's 7 points as they try to mount a late quarter comeback, trailing 17-6.
Remaining in the man-to-man.
Wonderful pull up by James. Left that short though. Zutterman leaking out now. This is Tootie. Bree the trailer lofts it up. And the rebound vacuumed in by 20 Kylie Moore. And her pocket is picked. Riley Gilvin the beneficiary. And Assumption down the hill with numbers. Palmer initiates contact and fumbles it out of bounds. So 50.5 now in this opening quarter.
Yeah, each team's got 5 turnovers, but I do believe the Sacred Heart Valkyrie turnovers has cost them just a little bit more on a couple runouts. 2-2-1 press.
And Becca Carson. It's going to be Sacred Heart balls. Touched last by Kylie Moore. Valkyrie's just shaky at all points so far.
Very shaky, yeah. That's what we talked about, though. You know, you have 3 players playing a totally different role than any role they've ever played before in a big crowd and against a very aggressive and talented team.
Emma Zutterman down low. Ripped away, asking for a foul. Assumption, a run out, up and in. 2 more for Ashlyn James. James now with 9, leading the Rockets brigade. Tootie Jordan in the corner.
Well, when you see that 2-2-1 press, you got to attack to score. And right now, the Valkyries are just attacking it, just get the ball across court.
And Kylie Moore left one short. Here comes Gilvin across the line at 3. Becca Carson. And a big one for Sacred Heart to close the first.
That's what Carson's known for. She can shoot the 3. She loves to spot up. Big shot.
So Riley Gilvin, the presence of mind, knew there was enough time there in the unselfish pass. And Becca Carson ends the Valkyrie quarter on an uptick, and they badly needed that one. So 19-9 the score. We'll have the second quarter coming up live on Glycod.
A Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Sacred Heart possession after a Becca Carson three as we welcome you back to St. X. Riley Gilvin near sideline.
Looking to post up Bree, trying to get her in the action. Got her for a hook, maybe.
And a foul on Assumption. It's Saray Palmer.
Yeah, there's a mismatch for Bree, so they're going to post her up and see if they can get something, get her going and get something easy.
Yeah, Wilkins, the leading scorer for the Valkyries at over 16 scoreless thus far and hasn't had many shot attempts either.
No, the Rockets are doing an excellent job on her. That's an excellent matchup. You got one of the best athletes in the state in Ashlyn James Gardner, and Ashlyn just tends to be more physical, looks like to me.
And Wilkins now will shuttle out as Tyree Ralston back in. There's Gilvin, the recipient of the inbound. And Riley taking the bull by the horns. She'll head to the free throw line. So Assumption, a pair of early fouls. There you see the head coach of Assumption, grad of Syracuse. Tremendous high school basketball player in the state of New York.
I watched her quite a bit last year. She does an excellent job. We were laughing about it. I said, you really do an excellent job when you have players like you have. And she laughed. She said, sure does help. And I said, no doubt about it. But she does. She handles and works with them well, and they're very organized, and they play very well.
2 Riley Gilvin free throws has the lead narrowed to 8. So 5 in succession for the Valkyries. There's Saray Palmer with a seam. Lofts that long. Cannot get a rebound, though. And Assumption squirming their way underneath. Gilvin got a hand on that, and the ball found Emma Zutterman.
Yeah, I think for the Sacred Hearts kind of broke down, and they went to a 2-3 zone that time, and not a bad idea as long as you cover the blocks on blockouts.
That's a clever entry to swerve it in there. Zutterman scooped it up, and Assumption now with 3 fouls in the first 50 seconds of this quarter.
Well, as well as the Rockets get up and down the court, if you could get that 5th foul, you could slow them down just a little bit. That might help the Valkyries on the comeback.
There's Tootie Jordan trying to reignite this half-court offense. There's Tyree Ralston. Sets her sights on a 3. Gilvin with the rebound. And how about Tootie Jordan underneath? And Tootie could not get it. Tries again. And Gilvin puts it in.
Yeah, I know Coach Moir really likes the Gilvin young lady. I mean, of course, her sister's at U of K now, but just loves her effort, loves her attitude. She's just such a fighter. Her sister was much the same.
And the Valkyries trying to fight themselves back in this game. That one's well off the mark. That was missed by Powell, and a blocking foul coming up the floor by James. And Assumption now 4 fouls with 6:29 in this second quarter.
Yeah, can play a key role. This is big for the Valkyries. Just keep attacking and get to the line and make some free throws and get right back into it. Plus, as I said, it really slows down the Rockets from their transition attack.
So Sacred Heart will spend the balance of this period at the foul line after every Assumption foul.
And Coach is giving James a little bit of a break.
Tootie, a roof scraper. Tootie Jordan now with 7. Assumption tries to counter, and they do. Wonderful entry by Jada Allen.
Yeah, beautiful vision by the passer and a great cut by the cutter for the easy 2. Right behind the defense.
Tootie out of sorts that time, and Assumption snowballing. That's Jada Allen. She'll catch and score.
Feel like the Sacred Heart Valkyries were coming back into this just a little bit, but once again, a couple runouts, and that's kind of changed already.
As Riley Gilvin, his Valkyries must get back on defense. Zutterman able to hang on to that entry. There's Tootie Jordan near wing, tries again. And the long rebound to Tari Ralston. Ralston, her first field goal.
Ralston gets a lot of low offensive boards. She does a good job around the basket. Very aware. There's that Tootie, though.
2-on-1. Tootie with the pick and a foul. It's Jada Allen, and Assumption now exceeding the limit. It all started with Tootie with the theft at half court.
Yeah, Tootie changes games with that. Any ball handler that has Tootie guarding them has to really, really protect the basketball. Better to get rid of it and then get it back, get her dropped off of you. One-on-one, she's tough, got quick hands, stays low. Like I said, she didn't come into high school as a defender, but boy, she sure is going through it as one.
85% from the foul line. She's missed 2, and Assumption going to pause play momentarily. We'll step aside. 23-18, Assumption leading. It's Louisville basketball game night and more after this.
Folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
You're watching Louisville basketball game night on Glycod.
Valkyries trying to creep their way back in this game. They trailed by 10 after 1. It's been cut in half.
Yeah, it's been just fight. Just fight. We talked about that before, that mental thing with being there and doing that. But, it's those young ones that are now taking primary roles were out there practicing against those great players last year. So they've seen good players before. I think they've calmed down. But like I said, everything is a struggle as far as offensively for the Valkyries right now. But they're scrapping and fighting and got some extra shots, and we're right back in the ballgame.
Tootie Jordan 0 of 2 from the foul line. Bree Wilkins is back in for Sacred Heart, coming in after the timeout.
I imagine the coaches talked to Bree just a little bit. I think Bree got a little frustrated and kind of shut down on them a little bit, and I imagine they reminded her that she's a great player and she needs to get busy.
And a deflection out of bounds. Ava Moore, pass too tall for Jada Allen, and Sacred Heart continuing their flurry.
Pure man-to-man. Expected a little bit of a 2-2-1, but it went with the man-to-man instead, and that's the Rockets.
Entry to Bree Wilkins. She'll catch, muscle it up. And a held ball, the arrow in favor of Assumption.
Sacred Heart's coming out with a 1-2-1-1 press, trying to get something positive to happen.
With Wilkins at the teeth and just weaving her way into front court is Palmer. Baseline jumper, perfect for Kylie Moore.
Yeah, that press was poorly executed and opened up the court for the Rockets, and once again another turnover.
Long 2 up top, and it's 4 in succession. Saray Palmer knocks it in.
Here's that 2-2-1, giving the Valkyries a little bit of problems as far as attacking to the rim on it.
There's Tootie Jordan. Riley Gilvin inside the lane, deflected away, getting a hand on that was Palmer. And an Assumption foul, I believe, as Khalid Jones picks herself up off the mat.
Yeah, that was a tough call, no doubt about it. Looked like both players had possession, and one rolled over.
Now Khalid Jones for 2, where she's 1 of 2 tonight from the line. Got Emma Zetterman coming back in as Tootie Jordan going to shuttle out with the likelihood it won't be long that she's over there.
Won't be long. It's a breath.
Two big ones there for the junior. 3 points now right on her average, and in the blink of an eye, Assumption down the floor, and Emma Zetterman called for the foul.
Yeah, look for the Rockets to change the press up a little bit. If Tootie's over there on the sidelines, it's going to be very difficult for the Valkyries to get ball up and down the court.
Palmer for 2. The tempo and speed of which they play is very impressive.
Very impressive. It puts Valkyries in such a bind, because if they crash the boards on the offensive end to get second shots and they don't get the rebound, then they're behind and chasing, and Assumption's making layups. That's the dilemma that they're in right now.
And Palmer leaves 2 there, but an offensive rebound. This time Palmer for 3. And another putback angled in. That's Kylie Moore.
It's a 2-1-2. There we go.
And back to Tootie. Foul line. And Moore just ripped that rebound down. And Assumption by 8. It'll be Palmer near side. Palmer squirms her way in, and a Sacred Heart foul as she took Kalia Jones off the bounce.
Palmer's so much controlling this ball game. She does a great job with great handles. Very, very quick, uses both hands pretty well. Loves her right hand, though, and she's tough to stop. This was a big concern for Coach Moir, was could they stay in front of this Assumption Rocket bunch. And right now they're not quite passing that test, I don't believe.
The Rockets right now could be up by well into double figures if they make some free throws.
Yeah, it's really hurt them. They missed probably 4 or 5 last opportunities.
So Saray Palmer, season high 23 versus Marist, an out-of-state foe. Gets one to go there. All 4 of Assumption's losses have been to out-of-state foes. Example, Academy of Illinois, Somerset, Academy, Florida, Clarksville Christian in Tennessee, and then DME in Daytona.
Several of them are national powers, Chris. That's the schedule that she was talking about.
Bree Wilkins drives in, and a foul on Ashlyn James. So Wilkins, scoreless, will have 2 free throws.
I believe that's 2 on Ashlyn, and that's a big foul. With only 3 minutes to go in this half, I'd say Coach Kovatch is going to get her out of the ball game, and she'll watch the rest of this half unless the Sacred Valkyries make a valiant run.
So Wilkins misfires. You've had Tootie miss a couple, and Sacred Heart some uncharacteristic misses of a team that shoots almost 80% from the foul line.
Yeah, I think this Rocket team's put them back on their heels, no doubt about it. They don't have the same rhythm that they typically have, or the confidence.
Emma Zetterman, offensive rebound, back to Wilkins. Gilman got a hand on that, and this time Bree puts it in.
Yeah, that's what Bree has to do. She's got that physical side that I told you about that I've noticed this year. She kind of fell off of it early, but she's going to have to really pick it up, and she has the last couple times down the court after she spent a little bench time with her coaches.
Ava Moore strong-armed that one, and it's going to catapult out to Assumption with 2:44 in this first half. The Rockets have led throughout, led by 10 after one. Sacred Heart cut it to 5 in this quarter. As Assumption floats it in back to Ava Moore. Inside the lane, lofted up and off from Jada Allen. Another rebound, though, for Assumption. That was Adeline Taylor got the rebound, but now it's out of bounds back to Sacred Heart.
Yeah, this Rocket shooting percentage this quarter's really hurt them also. They've had good shots, just had put them in the basket.
Here comes Tootie. Wide open three. Well off from Kalia Jones, and it's rebound Assumption.
Assumption's doing a little bit better job of getting back, too. That's important. Looks like they're not going to the board as strong. They're dropping a couple back to cut the fast break of the Rockets.
Jada Allen, number 4, in the center portion of the floor. She'll angle around, floats it up, and a Sacred Heart foul. A strong drive by Assumption. There's Allen for 2. These Rockets all complement each other very well.
Yeah, and it's really hard to stop these young ladies at Assumption, the way they drive the ball. They're so strong, they just attack the basket. One way you take care of that is take charges, but I have not seen any charge takes yet, so that's not going to factor in.
We'll have your halftime numbers coming up at halftime, presented by German American Bank. And perhaps the only chink in the Rockets' armor thus far, misfires from the free throw line.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That and point-blank misses from 2 feet.
Couple of missed opportunities there as Becca Carson snares the loose ball. And 0 Tootie Jordan finds Becca Carson.
Yeah, Sacred Heart needs to reverse the basketball some. They're getting stuck on the right side, and we're not making this Assumption defense move at all. And if it's athlete to athlete, Assumption's going to win that battle.
That play just very slow developing. You could see it up here as Assumption now will have possession, length of the floor. Valkyries with 4 fouls now in the stanza.
Well, Valkyries are playing very right-handed, and everything's running to the right. And it's really easy to defend when you're just standing still like that without any movement, stuck on one side of the court.
Number 3, Veronica Hocker, 5'6" sophomore, cradles it for Assumption.
Very good player. This sophomore just stopped in. I watched her in the JV game. She can flat shoot the basketball. She's very talented.
And there is Hocker between the wickets in backcourt, and a violation. Good on-ball defense by Tootie Jordan.
As we spoke earlier, that's the thing about Tootie. You don't want to play with the basketball. That young sophomore chose to play with the basketball, and Tootie came out ahead.
A very important 108 here for Sacred Heart. They have been outplayed mightily in this game, but only down 7.
Yeah, once again, free throws are always important in big ball games.
There's Becca Carson up top, made that big 3 to close the first quarter. Here's Bree Wilkins, deflected.
As we spoke, the ball never went to the left side.
Tootie off the mark to the right, rebound chased down by Assumption. That was Layla Powell that chased it down. Driving Palmer for 2.
You don't stop Palmer. Palmer straight to the rim every single time. Loves that right hand, but somebody's got to get in front of her.
And Tootie with the much-needed answer for Sacred Heart. As Assumption by 7. The balance of this quarter. And out of bounds as Saray Palmer going a stride too fast.
Well, they forced her. She went left that time, Chris. Forced her with that left hand. She's not nearly as deadly using her left as her right, which is typical of most, but the great ones can use both.
Here's Tootie all the way underneath. Ralston at 1. Tootie, plenty of time for a 3. And that's going to take us to half. Assumption on top of Sacred Heart, where they've lost 18 in succession, but the Rockets by 7 at half. We'll step aside. More coverage coming up live. This is Glycod.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer. Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Oldham County today.
Welcome to Holy Smokes Barbecue.
At Holy Smokes Barbecue, our pitmasters smoke up mouth-watering ribs, chicken, brisket, mutton, and more. From sandwiches to full dinners, with a complete list of sides and desserts. Holy Smokes Barbecue. Just tell them that the man in the big white hat sent you.
Order up. How's the pork chop taste?
It's pretty good. It's the best one I've ever had.
Holy Smokes Barbecue. Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you.
When you want the right agents for your real estate needs, choose the Van Treese team with True Blood Real Estate. Former University of Louisville basketball star Stephen Van Treese and his wife Laura Protenick Van Treese combine local knowledge, dedication, and results to help you buy or sell with confidence. Contact the Van Treese team at 502-468-1463. Because no other real estate team quite measures up when you experience the True Blood advantage.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, a tradition of corporate excellence and community service. For more, visit tfcfamily.com.
Chris Labar and Mark Evans welcome you back. Halftime with Assumption marked by 7, and they're doing it in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I mean, the pure athleticism, ability to run the court. The Rocket defense is pretty much smothering the Valkyries completely. They somewhat took Bree out of the game early in the game, as we spoke about, just by putting James on her, and she kind of gave in, I do believe. And if it hadn't been for Tootie, I don't think Sacred Heart would be within 20 right now. But, you know, it's a real struggle right now for the Valkyries to get in to run any kind of offense. It's pretty much one-on-one at attack, whereas the Assumption Rockets are getting the easier shots, and they're getting a lot of shots.
Balanced scoring for Assumption. Layla Powell with 9, 8 points for Kylie Moore. And this is a team, they're just been doing it via the rebound. We'll show the stats in a moment. A lot of balance for them. Yeah,
definitely 6 people on the board as far as scoring-wise. Sacred Heart has 6 also. But right now, the key is, as you spoke earlier, Assumption would be way ahead in this game if they were just shooting a decent percent at the free throw line, and they'd made just a couple of the threes. But that's part of basketball. That's the way it goes.
Halftime stats presented by German American Bank. They've been strengthening communities since 1910. The bugaboo certainly is at that 4 of 13 from the foul line.
Yeah, 4 of 13. I also think the bugaboo is giving up 13 offensive rebounds. The Valkyries to the Assumption Rockets. That's been killer. everything else. Assist is also something that's important. And as I said, everything's coming a lot easier for the Rockets. They have 7 assists to Sacred Heart's only 1. They pretty much are playing one-on-one with 4 standing and watching. And it's a hard way to win a basketball game.
And for the Valkyries, not shooting the ball obviously very well, only a 29%. And they're not shooting free throws very well either.
No, they're not, and that's unlike them, especially since Bree was one of the shooters and Tootie was one of the shooters, mainly Tootie. She's usually deadly in the big games, but I really believe that this Rocket team has really taken it out of them by playing such great defense and making everything so hard for them. I think there's a sense of fatigue, and I think there's also a sense of frustration.
So Assumption led by 10 after 1. Sacred Heart outscored them by 3 in the second quarter, hence a 32-25 Rockets lead at half. What is both teams' main thesis in the locker room?
Well, I mean, the Valkyries have to talk. They have to decide what they're going to try to do here. First of all, they got to clean up their offense. They need to set some screens. They need to use some screens because we know that the Rockets will foul if given the opportunity. So that's going to be important. The other thing is the Valkyries have to clean their offense up because they have to have good balance to go to the defensive end. Right now, transition defense would have to be a big factor, a big key that Coach Moir is talking about. As far as the Rockets go, they just need to settle down and finish the shots they're getting. They're getting multiple second shots, but they're just throwing them up other than taking that breath and going up strong with those shots. If they make those shots and they make those free throws, it could be a tough ending for the Valkyries tonight, but don't count the Valkyries out. They've been here before, and I've seen some amazing things by what they can do.
32-25 Assumption at the half. Thank you so much for joining us live tonight on Glycod. Please subscribe to our free-to-watch platform as Glycod is changing the way you watch high school athletics. Second half next. Assumption by 7 on Glycod.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a side of ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
This is the mower that cut the lawn, that became the place their kids grew up. The legendary Exmark Laser Z is the zero-turn mower more landscape pros trust. For cut quality, comfort, and reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life. Visit your local dealer or explore the Exmark Laser Z online for special finance offers, available now.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German-American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German-American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Sacred Heart Basketball as we welcome you back for the second half.
Open that up in the 2-3 zone, Chris. Just trying to throw Sacred Heart off a little bit. Smart to always change up like that. Great defense right now.
And the 5-second call. Great ball pressure applied by Saray Palmer and an early turnover.
Yeah, great call by Coach Kovatch. Come out in a 2-3 zone. That's far from anything that Sacred Heart had talked about. They probably had a man-man play written up, and that threw them all out of it. And great defense, and they get a turnover. Great play by the coach.
Ashlyn James now weaves around for this balanced and very talented Rocket team.
Almost looks like Sacred Heart's in a 1-2-2, but no, they're in man-to-man.
Ashlyn James knives her way in the lane, comes up empty, and Emma Zutterman chases down the rebound. Here's Tyree Ralston, chisels her way in. It creeps short, but an assumption foul on Palmer.
Yeah, I think if you'll take it out, these Rockets, they will reach and they will foul a bit. It's going to be up to Sacred Heart to attack. This young Ralston, sister was a very good ball player at Sacred Heart, but she does a lot of the little things for Donna. Donna really likes her, and she's aggressive. She's not afraid of a fight.
That reduces the margin to 6. Again, Assumption has led throughout, led by 10 after 1. And Ralston gets the Valkyries within 5.
1-2-2, 1-2-1-1 press. I don't know, though.
Allen, nice funnel underneath is Moir being badgered by Gilvin.
Yeah, that 1-2-1-1 really concerns me because it's a make or break press. If you take it away, you usually get a layup. Problem with it is it opens up the court and opens up the back of your court, and this Rocket team does a good job with their eyes up.
Jada Allen, the extra pass. Layla Powell, baseline, plows over Tootie. And Assumption with their second foul of this quarter.
Yeah, that's a great job by Tootie. Mind was made up that we're going to take the ball to the basket. As we spoke earlier, that's the first charge take we've seen. If the Sacred Heart would take some more charges, then this Assumption Rocket team would slow down to the basket just a bit.
You get the sense the momentum may be starting to shift a bit as the Valkyries within 5.
I think they're just a little calmer coming out of half than they were at the beginning of the ball game. I don't think they realized how quick this Assumption team was.
There's Jordan trying to weave her way in the lane. Lofts it off the back iron. No. And Assumption. Great rebound, vacuumed in by Layla Powell. 23 of Assumption. Now Ava Moore squirms in. Palmer hoists to 3. And Riley Gilvin with the rebound. And lost from behind. Nice overplay to chase that pickle down by Ashlyn James. And that's a play on. Ava Moore through the teeth of that defense, and Bree Wilkins called for a Sacred Heart foul.
Great drive by Moore. Switched hands, found a gap, and split the defense and drew the foul of Wilkins. Yeah, Bree's got to get into this second half right off the bat. Mentally, she's got to be there for these Valkyries to have a chance today.
Second foul of the game on Bree Wilkins as Wilkins, again, only 2 points tonight as Ava Moore chases down a free throw. Moore now with 3 points.
Let's look for the Rockets maybe to go back to that 2-2-1 press too. It really did slow down the Valkyries and made them work. Just get the ball full court. Let's see if they do on this made free throw if she makes it. Picking up 2-2, well, picking up man basically, looking to run and jump. At least it was full.
There's Bree Wilkins, far sideline. She'll try a 3. Off the mark. And Assumption out with it. Saray Palmer initiates the break, lays it in, and it's back to 9.
Yeah, Palmer did a great job of using her body I thought Bree might get her third foul on that one, but she held off. That was smart by Bree.
There's Riley Gilvin chasing down the rebound, and Palmer intersecting in the passing lane. It will stay Sacred Heart.
Well, this Rocket defense just puts so much ball pressure on these ball handlers, and they're just having a real hard time. Everything seems pretty much like a panic unless the ball's in Tootie's hands.
Rebecca Carson back in for
Great
Bree Wilkins,
hesitation move.
and
Beautiful.
Tootie could not get the roll. Assumption in transition yet again, and it's back to double figures.
Yeah, beautiful transition. Split the defense and scooped it in. That was a great move. It's a great move on a Euro.
We'll keep things here in what is now an 11-point Assumption lead as the Valkyries with 6 in a row surrendered.
I think if the Valkyries can fight back in and have it close with just a few minutes to go, then that gives them a great chance. But if they get much more out of hand, then it's going to be tough to come back. And I know it's only the beginning of the third quarter.
Been a little bit of a different look this year, as you pointed out, for this Sacred Heart team. Post Zakiah Johnson, still a lot of talent, but just a different feel.
It's a tremendous drop-off. I mean, let's just call it the way it is. Zakiah Johnson's playing for LSU Tigers right now, one of the top teams in the country, and taking a big role for them. You know, you take that kind of superstar off of the team, everybody has a different role. Falls off on Bree. Last year, Bree knew they had Zakiah. Falls off on Tootie, and you're seeing that it's tough right now.
Tootie Jordan angles to Emma Zutterman, who's played very well despite not scoring tonight. Here's Ralston near wing. Ralston lofts it up. Off the mark, Gilvin. And partially blocked on the closeout, and Assumption out with it. Ashlyn James. Basket in.
Beautiful
for Saray
scoop.
Palmer.
Yeah. They run the court so well once again. It's taking everything that the Valkyries have to try to score down on the offensive end, and they just can't get back right now, and Assumption's making them pay.
Bree Wilkins coming in at the next whistle, and she's going to have to show up for the Valkyries to stay in this game. Carson a three. Yes! Becca Carson, a couple of timely threes.
Yeah, coach's daughter usually can shoot, and Matt's been with the Sacred Heart program, does a great job for a long time.
Ralston with a deflection. Carson, it's 2 against 1. Riley back to Carson.
Tough pass to make. Block to block's never very successful in a fast break.
And Carson called for the foul.
Yeah, I really like this Ashlyn James, Chris. She makes everybody better on her team. She's not selfish at all. She takes care of, she loves to play defense, and she's quite the athlete.
So Carson's 3 reduces it to 10. Still 12 minutes remaining. Bree Wilkins back in.
Yep.
And an uncharacteristic turnover for Assumption.
A little bit of communication on the back door. Let's watch this matchup between Ashlyn and Bree. That's been the matchup most of the night. That athleticism of Ashlyn is really taking away Bree's game.
There's Wilkins from the baseline. Off the mark that time. And Assumption, great overplay. That's Tootie Jordan, and Tootie with a transition 3.
Great job by Tootie once again with their defense, created their offense. Good rhythm 3, just like you like them, bottom of the net.
Valkyries with consecutive 3s. Ashlyn James, Olay for 2.
Wow.
Carson the entry to 21 Wilkins. Bree puts it in.
Yeah, good adjustment by the Valkyries. They did that early in the game, then went away from it. Bree likes her matchup. She's got the size, so she's able to just turn over that left shoulder and make that little 2-footer. See if they continue to go back to it.
Jada Allen off the mark from the corner, and Tootie Jordan with the rebound. And Jordan on the deck, and a turnover. Wonderfully read by Jada Allen, and Allen collects.
Yeah, just a little bit too much dribble that time by Tootie.
Every time the Valkyries sees momentum, or at least seem like they have momentum. Assumption with a response.
Yeah, I still feel like everything's hurried. Not a lot of, no screening at all. It's all a one-on-one game, and when you have that, you have 4 players standing around watching, and that's what they're getting.
Ralston's 3 off the basket support. Dead ball back to Assumption as Emma Zutterman going to check in.
Well, and I think too, Chris, what really helps this Rocket team is they're able to put so much pressure on Bree, so much pressure on Tootie. It's really made it hard for them to do a whole lot other than Tootie just makes it happen. The rest of these Valkyries have to step up and score, and that's never been their role, and that's not their strength. So, people that normally don't look to score are having to look to score.
That's Emma Zutterman with the pickpocket, and Zutterman to the free throw line, and a wonderful effort by the senior.
Yes. That's that fighter in her. I think she's been in first team All-State 2 years in a row on that soccer team of theirs. That's won back-to-back, and a lot of soccer skills translates into basketball, without a doubt. One of them is reading passing lanes.
That young lady has improved every year as a Valkyrie, now being counted on for an abundance of minutes. And the lead stays at 9.
Yeah, these Valkyries need every easy basket they can get, so they need to count these and knock these down.
And Assumption in the lane early. Not going to matter as Zutterman rattles in the free throw.
And there goes Assumption down the court quick again, right to the hole.
And Wilkins with the erase. And going to stay Rocket ball underneath.
Smart move by James. I mean, she went right at Bree. Bree's already got a couple fouls. It'd be huge to get her completely out of the game.
There's Palmer at the foul line. Riley Gilvin working opposite Jada Allen. Wonderful weave in the lane by James. Extra pass, corner off the mark from Ava Moore. And Sacred Heart has the rebound. Bree Wilkins, great pass, and Gilvin knocks it in.
Well, the good thing about Bree now is at least she's seeking contact. In the first half, I thought she kind of frayed away from it, and it really cost her. She's at least creating things, which opens up rebounds and everything else for the rest of the team.
6-point Assumption advantage. A hurried shot there, and Ava Moore got the basket.
Yeah, no answer for those. Drove hard left and made a runner. That was a tough shot.
Riley Gilvin underneath. Good grab by Zutterman. Exploding up and blocked. Gilvin with a follow. And all Assumption underneath. Ashlyn James, 2 more from Saray Palmer.
Yeah, that's so frustrating. Get 3 or 4 looks at the basket, and then Assumption takes off and gets a wide open, easy layup. Great job of Assumption getting the ball out again.
There's Tootie Jordan. The ease in which the Rockets score, just so impressive. And Jordan, perhaps too much dribbling there. Zutterman scarfs it up, and there's Bree Wilkins underneath. Under 5 now in the third. Assumption, 1 more shot on goal off from Ava Moore. So an 8-point Assumption lead as we go to the 4th. You're watching Assumption Sacred Heart Louisville basketball game night from Glycod.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Chris Labar and Mark Evans back live at St. X Assumption. They've led throughout, Mark, 48-40, but can they put the Valkyries away?
Well, the Valkyries are doing everything they can, but I think the struggle is it takes everything the Valkyries have to score, and they don't have enough on the other end. Too many easy opportunities for this Rocket team. So a few more of those, and I think that the Rockets will be able to put this game away, but there's probably going to be 2 more to come.
Could very well be the LIT at the end of this month and the 7th region tournament to follow in 6 weeks. There's the entry. Nice grab by Layla Powell.
Yeah, that was an excellent job once again by Coach Kovatch. That was done on the bench right there.
That's going to be off from Wilkins. Ralston snares the rebound. Bree puts it in, and an Assumption foul.
Yeah, that's more of the Bree I saw in the Cooper game that I talked about that really started picking it up and becoming more physical. I think she's figured that out in this game. It's going to take every bit of that physicality that she has.
As Wilkins, 6 points unofficially, and that one creeps in.
1 and 2, we talked a little bit, Chris. Once again, that's up 1-2, 1-1. I'm a little concerned about that, but we talked a little bit. If the Valkyries can keep it close, then, the advantage might go to them at the very, very end, but can't give up too many like that.
Ashlyn James, straight line drives, you mentioned it's so important in this game. There's Wilkins from Gilvan, and Bree cannot get that roll. And the long rebound catapults back to Sacred Heart.
That's one thing about shooting threes. They're always long rebounds. Can be good for the offense, but it can also be good for the defense transitioning.
Ralston steers in a big 3.
Stepping up. That's that sophomore.
52-46. And a Sacred Heart foul in the blink of an eye. The Rockets down at the other end with a strong take by Jada Allen.
Yeah, I think this game's been well called. Saw these 3 officials walk in, and I thought it would be a well called game. They're really got this game under control. It's a good one from the officiating standpoint.
Jada Allen will have one more. Again, she shoots him at 69% Assumption, at least in the first half, anyway, from the foul line. We're 4 of 13.
But once again, these missed free throws just keep Sacred Heart in the game.
Rebound snared by Emma Zutterman. 2D Jordan drives. Zutterman collects!
Love the way that Zutterman runs the court, and Tootie rewarded her that time.
Ray Palmer losing the handle. There's Riley Gilvan over to Tootie. Ralston, 2 more!
Coach needs a timeout.
Assumption. The Rockets call timeout. A 2-point Rockets lead. Be right back on Glycod.
Folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
.6:28 left. Assumption by 2. This game has not been this close since very early in the opening quarter, and the Valkyries now forcing some turnovers.
Yeah, I might stand really corrected there. This is happening a lot quicker than I expected. A couple turnovers real quick by the Assumption Rockets, and scrappy Sacred Heart, and Ross is stepping up and making a big 3, and Zutterman running the court as well as she did and scoring. all of a sudden the Rockets looked a little rattled. But once again, it's so hard to get over that hump when every single year the result's been the same for a long time. So
Ralston, 5 key points in the last minute.
Well, Breeze picked it up too. She's become a lot more physical, and with her physicality attacking the basket, they have to rotate to stop her, so that leaves those weak side boards open, and Sacred Heart's cashed in a little bit once again in that 1-2-1-1 press.
There's Layla Powell now into forecourt. There's Ashlyn James, the Indiana commit, who floated in the corner for this Assumption team, undefeated against Kentucky groups this year. Strong pier by Moir. Allen, yes. Jada Allen.
That was a big shot. Gilpin's doing a really nice job on James that time. That looks like a matchup we need to watch a little bit.
Tootie back to Zutterman. Zutterman, a strong, great effort, and a rebound secured by Layla Powell of Assumption. Outlet, Jada Allen. And from the doorstep, it's off the mark from Palmer, but catapulting out off of the Valkyries, it's going to stay Assumption.
Sacred Heart needs a big stop this time. Everything's swinging their way. They need an easy basket, an easy opportunity.
And Assumption funnels it near the half-court line. It's back to James.
Switch off. Got Ralston now trying to guard James.
James swerves it in the corner. Palmer attacking.
Beautiful job.
And that stays in for Ava Moore. So Assumption with 5 quick points out of their timeout, and it's back to 7.
Yeah. That time, Zutterman got caught watching the ball, and they slipped in behind her for a backdoor cut. She never saw her player.
Now Bree Wilkins trying to veer past the defender, and a strong drive by Wilkins, where she'll go to the free throw line. Second foul this quarter on Assumption as Bree for 2 big free throws.
So let's see if Bree can turn it around. She's carrying herself a little bit better this half, so let's see if she steps up there and knocks down these 2 free throws like she normally would. A little confidence goes a long way.
As Wilkins now 7 unofficially. Well done.
Kind of had a feeling, staying in this press. More of a man-to-man, though. They're falling out, but once again, it opens the court up. That's why I don't really like it.
And in pursuit of the loose ball underneath, it's touched last. I believe Ava Moore closed and got a hand on it last. And it's Sacred Heart ball. 4:42 remaining. Valkyries have never led.
2-2-1 press by the Rockets, right to the middle where you want to go. But the key is, can you score against it?
There's Zutterman. Somehow able to hang on to it. Gilvin from the doorstep had it partially blocked, and there's Jada Allen out with it for number 1 Assumption. James to her companion, Moore for 2.
Yeah, way too slow getting back by Sacred Heart. They were looking to match up at half court. Can't play this team that way. You got to get back and cover block, middle. Take away the easy layups. That's what they did not do.
And Wilkins again, the initiator, driving hard to the basket. Assumption with their 3rd foul of this quarter. So a non-shooting foul, it appears. At least.
Yeah, I think they got her well before and knocked her back, and then she can't continue with the shot. So I think it was a good call that time.
So possession underneath Valkyries with 4:06 to play. Oh my.
Yeah, Zutterman.
Miscommunication, and Palmer makes the pay.
Zutterman forgot what she was doing. That's a typical play they run all the time. Zutterman's supposed to pop to the elbow, and she forgot.
Sacred Heart timeout. Let's take one more look as the lead now expands to 9 in Assumption. Live ball turnover, a key point in this game. So they're going to expand this to a full. We'll get a message in from Priority Radiology and be right back.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A proud community supporter, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com, celebrating 20 years of serving our community of athletes. Priority Radiology. You have a choice.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Assumption on a 9-2 run. They lead 61-52, Sacred Heart ball, and also for the Valkyries, only one timeout remaining.
Yeah, the Valkyries worked awful hard to get it back, and then just doesn't take long to lose it with this Assumption team as well as they cut, as well as they run the court.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of this game. We will have our most outstanding players. Also have to have a conversation with the winning coach.
2-2-1 here.
Ralston ahead now to Gilvin. Gilvin lost the handle, but it's touched last by Assumption. Ralston inbounding. There's Wilkins. Tries a three. And Gilvin sneaks in for the rebound. Riley Gilvin played very well tonight, just shy of double figures.
Hurd and Ralston both have played well tonight. They've been very scrappy. They've done a lot of the little things. They've been able to score quite a few second shot opportunities just because of their hustle. They've stepped up.
Here's the inbound, nudge to Ava Moore. Wilkins with the overplay, and Gerald Gray says not so fast.
Yeah, that was a big call. That was a big call that took away a Sacred Heart layup and gave Bree Wilkins a foul, I do believe.
Yeah, it looked like she had the left hand draped around.
Yeah, hooked her a little bit, looked like.
Gerald doesn't miss too many of them.
No, he's top of the line. And a great person, too. I like a lot of the officials. We've been very fortunate in this community with our officiating.
Do they like you, though, Mark?
Do what now?
Do they like you?
Yeah, I always told them I had a lot more important things to do than referee the ball game. I need to figure out my own team.
Bree Wilkins, 2 points off a turnover there. So Sacred Heart with 4 quick points. And Assumption back, and a foul on Tootie Jordan. And Assumption apparently going to the free throw line as Kylie Moore will strut the line.
Well, what Assumption's doing that I think all good teams need to do, they're continuing to attack. They're up 5, 3:07. There's some places and some teams out there want to take the air out of it and run clock. I've never been very successful doing that. I'd rather attack and put it on the other team to stop me and get to the board and get to the line.
Kylie Moore, a very impressive sophomore for 2 big free throws.
Well, that's the 3rd free throw, I think, of this quarter. Missed the first couple, so now we're shooting for 50% in a quarter. Yeah, very nice. She's very smooth. Now they're in a 1-2-1-1. Looking for the top trap. Miscommunication, ran off and left the corner. It's another Sacred Heart turnover.
3:01 left.
It's awful tough with James controlling the tempo here. Awful tough for Sacred Heart to get back.
Ashlyn James hesitates and double dribbles.
Yeah, I thought that move was a little too good to be true. She almost pulled it off.
Both teams with 3 team fouls.
Yeah, this is how they're working the clock. They're making Sacred Heart take a little time getting the ball down the court.
There's Tootie Jordan. Lofts in the lane, yes!
Yeah. Everybody fell off the Tootie that time. They just left her. You can't leave Tootie, especially through the lane.
Sacred Heart with timeout. The scoreboard here doesn't reflect timeouts. I don't believe they have another pause. So 63-58, Assumption by 5, 2:38 remaining. More coverage coming up live after this.
Folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
.238 remaining. Valkyries deep inside their huddle, trying to scribe a comeback. It will be Assumption ball.
Yeah, I think they just keep doing what they're doing. They just need to get stops. We talked earlier, right now Assumption's showing no signs of pulling the ball out. If they do pull the ball out, then Sacred Heart's going to have to run and jump and do some trapping. But as of right now, they don't have to worry about that.
Arrow in favor of the Valkyries. Both teams 3 team fouls. Again, timeouts do not work here on the scoreboard. We don't think the Valkyries have any more stops. Assumption
Sacred Heart's a pure man.
Assumption with a few, and the Valkyries allow Franklin to bring it into forecourt.
Almost trapped themselves over there in that corner, but once again righted the ship and has James with the ball.
And Tootie Jordan called for the foul against number 13, Ashlyn James. The 4th this quarter on Sacred Heart. 2nd for the game on Tootie.
Well, Chris, free throws are going to come in big because if they put him at the line and Assumption makes the free throws, this game could be over with the way that rules are set up with the 2 automatics nowadays.
There's Palmer. Still plenty of time left.
There's a run and jump.
Oh, and Gilvin perhaps a stride late, colliding with James.
Yeah, Sacred Heart used to do that all the time. They love to do that. Good run and jump. They shoot that gap on the throwback, and they usually make that still more than they miss it, but Gilvin was just a little bit slow reading it. She didn't cheat over enough from the get-go. Too long of a run for her.
The 2 free throws for this Assumption team.
Yeah, here we go. They go down, it's going to be tough. If they don't go down, Sacred Heart can come back here.
And Assumption.
Wasn't pretty, but it worked, yeah.
Fired 3 consecutive free throws with Ava Moore making the last 2. And now Ashlyn James has this back to 6. Rockets have never trailed in this game, trying to break an 18-game losing string against their rival.
Assumption just falling back in man defense.
There's Bree Wilkins. Strong drive by 21 Bree Wilkins, and she'll head to the line.
Smart. Just got to make the free throws. You know, time doesn't run when you're going to the free throw line, and that's what they need to do. Assumption needs to be smart and try not to foul, just stay in front of them. Easier said than done, though.
Assumption now with 4 team fouls this quarter. As Wilkins made her last 2 from the foul line.
Yeah, they looked good last time. That one pushed that one just a little bit.
Wonderful crowd on hand. As Wilkins trying to reduce it to 5. Chased down by Zutterman. And now Wilkins collects. And a foul as well.
Boy, that's something by Zutterman. Great play by her. Good eyes. Looked right up and saw Bree hanging out right in the scoring spot. What a turnaround.
So the play begins with the misfire by Wilkins. And now we'll get back to live action here. There's Bree for a big one. There you go.
We got a 3-point game here. Anything can happen now.
1 possession with just over 2 minutes. Jada Allen collaborating with Ashlyn James up top.
Now they're looking. They'll spread the court and
Tootie picks up her third foul, and that appears clearly to be the strategy by Sacred Heart.
Well, you just want to get somebody else fouling other than Tootie, though. That's the problem. You switch Gilvin off on James. That's probably the better move. Free up Tootie a little bit.
So Ashlyn James, one of her last two, guides that one in.
She's 71, or let's see.
Velvetly smooth.
Yeah, 71 from the free throw line, and definitely a gamer.
So back to 5 as the Valkyries trying to creep their way back in this game. Here's Tootie, a high arcing three. Yes!
That is Tootie's spot. She loves that left wing. One stop. I expect for James to come up and get the ball, though, would be what I would be doing.
Crowd on their feet. Saray Palmer on the handle. There's Ava Moore.
So far, well run by Assumption. I still like to see James with the basketball.
Now James has it. And James gets to her spot. Under a minute.
Sacred Heart's going to have to find a play here.
Right through the
There it
midst
is.
of Ava Moore for a turnover.
Now you feel the pressure on those shoulders of Assumption, the Rockets.
Again, keep in mind, I don't think Sacred Heart has any timeouts. They must have had one because Tari Ralston just called it.
They do, or we're at the free throw line for Assumption. And it appears that they did have one more.
Will now call timeout. Again, the timeout scoreboard here not working. We think that's definitely their last timeout with 50 seconds left. What went wrong for Assumption on that last play?
Do what now?
What went wrong for Assumption on that last play?
Well, I don't really think anything till the very end went wrong. Ashlyn James had the ball, which is who I would have had. I think she's very unselfish. She just kicked the ball out with a lot of pop on it, right through the hands. But if they make the play on the baseline, they kick it back out, and you got Sacred Heart still chasing. But what happens when it's important? We talked about that earlier. Sacred Heart's used to being in these games, but they're also used to winning these games. All the Assumption players from last year, remember, is they had the game at the very end and lost it. So it's very mental. This is a very big game. If Sacred Heart were to come back and win this one, put a lot of pressure on the Assumption team.
It bears to show again. Valkyries 18 in a row over their arch rival Assumption, has never trailed in this game.
Now we look for Tootie and Wilkins to have the basketball. I look for them to be on attack mode unless Tootie gets her favorite three-point shot. I think they should attack and force the foul, force the play.
There's Bree Wilkins.
You got James on Wilkins. That's your matchup. Wilkins better watch out. James is awful quick.
And a foul on James. So Bree will shoot 2.
Yeah, that's one thing Bree's really improved on. She really knows how to use her body now. She can play the drama. She knows how to use her body. She created that contact, and she was rewarded for that creation.
And that's the 4th foul on Ashlyn James.
Well, and that's a big one. You take her out of the game, and then 24 will take over. And she does a good job, Palmer, but she's not James.
Got a 1-point game, friends. So Bree's going to have one more.
Timeout, trying to ice her. Coach Kovatch is trying to ice the shooter here.
So Assumption calls time. We'll keep things here. Bree Wilkins, one more free throw. And for the Rockets, that fourth foul on James, and she loves to drive. That's a huge play in this game.
Yeah, it is a huge play. Tootie can slide in and take a charge. She's the only one that we've seen take one today. That would be a big play on this continue. You know, Bree wanted to shoot the free throws. Bree wanted to get to the basket. That was obvious. So I feel pretty good about this shot. And then you're going to have to contain Ashland. And the way you're going to do that is stay in front of her, and that's tough to do.
Anxious times tonight at St. X on both sidelines. We've called a lot of games over the years. This atmosphere, one of the best we've seen.
Yeah, definitely. I love the crowd, especially today's time. You never know what kind of crowd you're going to get, especially in Louisville, but this has been a fantastic crowd.
Bree Wilkins knocks it in.
All right, look for James to attack. Tootie's on her right now. They're in a 2-3 zone. They switched out and zoned it. Change up. That's a good move by the Valkyries if it works.
There's Ashland James, the Indiana commit, cradling it for perhaps the final possession.
It may just be a man-to-man. It's really hard to say with no cutters. Yeah, I do believe.
Now we got 10 seconds. As James strides in the lane, lofts it up, it's off. Bree Wilkins with the rebound. Wilkins half court to win it, and a whistle.
She's fouled.
She is fouled. The whistle blows and a foul on Assumption with .1 remaining. Let's take a look at that from the outset as the three officials will confer. Now, we don't have a built-in timer on the replay, but Wilkins, there was clearly a foul called.
It was definitely a foul, though, Chris. No doubt about it. I mean, it was an obvious foul, just if it was after the clock.
Wilkins going to shoot three, and she makes one, and it's all over.
Was she on the shot? I didn't see her shoot.
I believe they said in the act of shooting. Over the scores table, there's Gerald Gray. And Assumption led throughout.
Yes, they did, but once again, Sacred Heart pulls this off. It's the same thing we talked about. It's awful hard to get over that hump.
So they'll put on 3/10, so now you got .4.
Well, that's not a catch and shoot. That's a tip in.
So Bree, she'll still have 2.
Yeah, you were correct, Chris.
And the Valkyries take their first lead. And Assumption going to throw that out of bounds. So the Valkyries, that ball's untouched. So Sacred Heart now going to inbound underneath with .4. Tootied inbound. Sacred Heart hangs on. The Valkyries, 19 in succession over their rival, and they win it 68-66. An incredible comeback for the 5-time defending state champions. And the Valkyries, perhaps their biggest win over their rival in many years, and they win again by 2.
Well, definitely their greatest challenge they've seen in a long time from Assumption. Saw them last year almost get them, but this, to fight back from the deficits that they fought back from, it's pretty much magical is what it is. I look forward to the next two that they're going to be playing against each other, providing they get to see each other in the LIT. There's no guarantee in the region, but both these teams are going to be awful tough to beat.
Valkyries trailed by 8 after 3, and the final 68-66. Stay close. Our post-game report coming up. We'll hopefully hear from head coach Donna Moir and more as the Valkyries a winner tonight live on Glycod.
A Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
Welcome to Holy Smokes Barbecue.
At Holy Smokes Barbecue, our pitmasters smoke up mouth-watering ribs, chicken, brisket, mutton, and more. From sandwiches to full dinners, with a complete list of sides and desserts. Holy Smokes Barbecue. Just tell them that the man in the big white hat sent you.
Order up! How's the pork chop taste?
It's pretty good. It's the best one I've ever had.
Holy Smokes Barbecue! Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by HKC Roofing. For your next roof repair or improvement, contact HKC at 502-212-1081 or visit roofyourhouse.com. HKC Roofing, better than guaranteed.
Sacred Heart with a remarkable comeback. They defeat Assumption tonight 68-66. Valkyries trailed by 8 entering the quarter. They were down double figures at about the 4-minute mark in this quarter, but some huge plays down the stretch, and again, they found a way, and they're the champions until someone dethrones them. And tonight, Sacred Heart again beats Assumption. Time now for our final stats presented by German American Bank. They are strengthening communities since 1910. Taking a look at the numbers there, Assumption 48% from the floor. Valkyries don't shoot it very well at 38%. And the free throw discrepancy, a huge key in this game, 11 of 23 for Assumption, and Sacred Heart 18 of 27. We've got Donna Moir here with Coach Mark Evans, and we will get them saddled up here in just a moment. We'll hear from the head coach as Mark is with her. So we'll get Mark Evans here with head coach Moir. Guys, go for it.
See comebacks like that, they really jumped out on you early like they did. Looked kind of like you were shell-shocked and kind of looked like it took Bree completely out of the game. But things changed as time went on.
Yeah, before the game, not that it's an excuse, but Bree was back in the locker room throwing up, and it was like 50-50. we went. And then I think throughout the game she played well, but everybody's talking about Miss Basketball, but I think I got a hell of a Miss Basketball in Bree Wilkins.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I've loved her. I've raved about her before we went on about how much more physical she plays and how much more dominant she was. And then not knowing that she was sick tonight, it looked like she was just kind of taken aback. And your other kid fought. I mean, you talk about Ralston, you talk about Gilvin. They got a lot of little second and third shots. And then look at Tootie. Tootie carried you for 3 quarters.
Yeah, we thought Tootie was doing a little too much, and we needed to get some other people involved in our offense. But, like Riley Gilvin has 12 rebounds. If you look across her stat line, it is just solid all the way. And, I don't know. I don't know how we won that. Simpson played a great game. What a great environment. This is what high school basketball is all about. We got to grow the game pretty good.
Yeah, it was. I was so excited when we got this game, and I got to do this game for a lot of reasons. But it didn't disappoint whatsoever. I mean, that comeback was fantastic, and you got to give Zetterman a lot of credit too. How many times did she sprint rim to rim, and Tootie find her underneath her easy baskets? Even though you're kind of in a tough spot. You needed to get to the offensive boards to help yourself, but every time you crash, you have the danger of them going the other way, and they do, and they got a lot of easy baskets. They look like the second half, you calm down a little bit.
Yeah, we tried to talk to them at halftime, to go in. I think we were down like 7 or whatever, and as well as they play, it was really our offense that was creating their offense. We were taking bad shots, and they were getting runouts, and we couldn't get anything going on offense. And I felt like our defense was pretty solid in half court, but our offense was creating their offense. So we tried to get them to reverse the ball and do some things that, it wasn't giving them runouts.
Well, everything we talked about, I felt like most of the game your offense was very panicked. You weren't able. Everything was too quick. You couldn't set screens. You didn't really use screens. It became a one-on-one situation. Anytime you do that, you stand the struggle of having 4 people to watch when that one person going one-on-one. But it seemed like something changed a little bit where you started getting a little bit more balance, probably ball reversal to a point. But I think part of it was Bree decided she was going to take over and go to the basket and make things happen. When she was fighting on one side, your Gilvins and your Ross, they were sliding in that backside, getting those extra rebounds.
Yeah, we just kept the ball alive. Kylie Moir, she does a hell of a job on the boards, and we tried to box her out as best we could. But like I said, I think once we quit giving them so many transition baskets and made them play half court, I think that kind of made a difference.
I've always loved your defense. You play great man-to-man. And a couple times I thought, that almost looks like a zone, but it wasn't. You were just sagging back a little bit, kind of inviting the people you wanted to shoot, trying to stay away from them gapping and attacking you.
That was a huge stop at the end. We were going to, try to pinch the middle, not let them get a drive to the basket, make them make something outside, and, it worked to our advantage.
Yes, it did. Wonderfully coached, wonderfully played game, and all these big games, they're ugly in a way because there's so much at stake and so much going on.
I think, what a great crowd. I think a lot of people are just waiting for us to get beat, and, these kids are going to fight till the end, and, like I said, it was a great game.
Well, I had to stand corrected. About midway through the third quarter, you were down about 8 or 9. You just couldn't seem to get anything going. I said, well, this might be the time, but I said one thing about if Sacred Heart can be close in the end, then they had the mental win. And, you kind of made a liar out of me. I kind of was worried about you there, and then you also showed me what happened.
Yeah, I like to, make our kids better, but I'm not one of those that believe you have to lose to get better. I think this made us better because we had to really, dig down and pull it out, and and we had to hold our composure. And, it was just great basketball.
I thought it was great basketball. I thought it was a well-called game. I think that was a tough game to be called because both teams like to attack. So I thought, the officials did a pretty good job. All in all, the crowd was great. And all in all, you got to love your result because that's in their heads going in.
Yeah.
But I think one thing, you got to continue to get better because they're awful good and they're going to get better too. And well coached.
And I think that's one of the things at the very beginning because we haven't played a team that long. All across, and we threw some lazy passes that led to layups, and you can't replicate that length in practice. So I think getting on the floor with them was good.
Yeah. Well, anytime you get pushed like that, you have a lot to work on after you watch tape, but the kids also know that there's not many deficits that Sacred Heart can come back from.
Oh, no, I know. And like I said, I was just real proud of them, and, got great leadership from Emma, and like you said, but she's won 2 state championships in soccer. She's won in basketball, and, just that toughness you got to show. She showed it.
Winners breed winners. Well, Donna, get back and hang out with your kids.
All right.
Great job.
You. Thanks, Mark.
Congratulations, Coach Moir and Sacred Heart. A hard-fought win over Assumption 68-66. Take one more timeout. Be back with our most outstanding players right after this from Glycod.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Red Ball Recycling is Southern Indiana's #1 recycling choice for a reason. We offer top dollar for all scrap metal. We can buy steel, copper, aluminum, brass, junk cars, and more. Call or stop by Red Ball Recycling and turn your scrap metal into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
This is the mower that cut the lawn, that became the place their kids grew up. The legendary Exmark Laser Z is the zero-turn mower more landscape pros trust. For cut quality, comfort, and reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life. Visit your local dealer or explore the Exmark Laser Z online for special finance offers, available now.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Louisville Basketball Game Night on Glycod.
Tonight's most outstanding players presented by State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Ashlyn James, a great effort in defeat.
Yeah, Ashlyn's a heck of a player, one of the better athletes I've seen on the court. She gets to the rim as well as anybody does with either hand. She had an excellent game tonight. Ended up with 18 points and shot a pretty good percentage. Just didn't make her threes at all and missed a couple free throws. But she's definitely a standout tonight.
Saray Palmer with 12 points, 11 for Layla Powell, 8 for Ava Moore. So very balanced, and then 9 for Jada Allen. Very balanced tonight for Assumption and for Sacred Heart. Tootie Jordan, 19 points in nearly 32 minutes.
Well, Tootie pretty much, if with the first 3 quarters without Tootie, Sacred Heart would have even been in the game. She kind of took it upon herself. Maybe tried to do a little bit too much, but just did a great job. Hit some big threes from her favorite spot on that left wing. Right there and at the end when it mattered the most. And, I definitely feel like she has to have the nod. She played an excellent game the entire night. We come to find out Bree was a little under the weather, but Bree Wilkins turned in a great second half, became very physical, and created some opportunities, and no bigger than the last one she had.
Bree Wilkins, 20 points. You got 8 for Riley Gilvin, along with 12 rebounds. Becca Carson with 6, and you go back to the end of that first quarter and a huge shot that Becca made to close the period.
Yeah, Becca actually hit 2 big shots, but she hit that end of quarter shot. Becca can shoot it. You don't want to leave her open. She loves to spot up, loves to knock down the shot. Plus, like I said, she's a coach's kid, and most coaches' kids can shoot the basketball. Coach Matt's been with them for a long time, does a great job for the Valkyries.
Upcoming basketball on Glycod, a busy week of Louisville basketball game night. Please join us on Tuesday for J-Town and Assumption. Then lots going on Friday. You can see these same Assumption Rockets as they will travel to Male. And then the nightcap should be a great one, St. X in Male. But going to be a tall chore for any game to top what we saw here tonight.
Yeah, you throw in the St. X. I mean, what a facility. You throw in the facility, you throw in a packed house on both sides, great student sections, and the kids on the floor played an excellent game with tremendous officiating. I mean, that's about all you can ask for. And once again, the thing of it is there was a daggone good chance we might get to see these two teams play each other 2 more times. And the last one being the most important one, who gets to go to the Sweet 16 and try it again.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight live on Glycod. Please subscribe to our free-to-watch platform and tell a friend. That'll do it for us. Sacred Heart over Assumption in a great game. 68-66 for camera operator Joe Million and analyst Mark Evans, along with producer Steve Bird. I'm Chris LeBar. Good night. You've been watching Louisville Basketball Game Night from Glycod.
From Glycod, this has been UA Local 502 Louisville Basketball Game Night. UA Local 502 and the Mechanical Contractors Association of Kentucky. We do it right the first time. Tonight's game was brought to you by Red Ball Recycling, turning your scrap metal into scrap money. HKC Roofing, better than guaranteed. Tinsley Family Concessions, commitment to quality. German American Bank, building our community since 1910. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. And by Blinds Direct and State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilley.
Visit glycod.com and follow us on social media for information about upcoming broadcasts and other high school sports content. Thank you for watching this live sports presentation on Glycod.